Hi, I'm the Man in Black. Welcome to 52 Weeks of Green Lantern, week number 3. As you can see, I'm currently imprisoned on a science cell on Oa for researching into the hated Red Lanterns, enemy of the Green Lantern Corps. Let's talk about Red Lantern number 1. But first, wow, those gimmicky effects really look cheap, don't they? I don't think I'll be using that anymore. But I thought I'd test out this webcam, so that's what I did. Anyway, Red Lantern number 1. What do I have to say about that? First off, I was interested in this concept. A lot of people were like, oh, Red Lanterns, all that could ever happen is they're angry and there won't be any story to it. I was looking at it more as a sort of over-emotional Green Lantern Corps. You know, the whole, basically the premise explained at the end of this. Sort of the way Atrocitus sort of described his corps throughout Brightest Day and such. Extreme vigilantes. Remember when Superman used to rush in on a wife beater and break his ribs? That type of thing, except a little more brutal. Sort of like when Atrocitus burned up a bus full of escaped convicts or whatever it was. So that's what I was kind of looking forward to. And what we kind of see, we see Atrocitus moping about Hal having killed Krona. Seemed a little out of character for him, but I think I could have accepted this if it was a little later. I don't think it was very good catch your attention issue number 1 material. My hands even show up on this cam? Yeah, not much. Okay. So it was alright, but I don't think it was very good for a first issue. You know, they know what the fans want. They bring in Dexter the Cat as pretty much the first Red Lantern we see, because they know that's what the fans want. They want to see him around. We have Atrocitus, we've got Bleez. There's a little bit of a subplot mention that the Red Lanterns might decide to raise against Atrocitus. Nothing that hasn't been done before with the Sinestro Corps, but, you know, maybe something that could be a little interesting. Especially as Atrocitus' faith in his own powers decreased. There's a little bit of a side story about some humans, basically showing, kind of like showing what the premise of a Red Lantern would be. If one of them, if this continues, I could see this continuing in later episodes, and one of them becoming the future Hal Jordan of the Red Lantern Corps, which would be kind of interesting. The way they pulled this off between the different subplots, I don't think it was the best. I mean, it really didn't change anything, but at the same time, I'm less excited for this than I was. I mean, I wasn't, oh my god, Red Lantern Corps, I have to buy this, you know, there's no way I'm going to miss out on the series, but I was kind of interested in seeing where it goes. You know, a more violent, bloody Green Lantern type of thing, which isn't really what we're getting here. I mean, they hint at that being a possibility, and they have other side plots to keep people interested, but it all seems rather watered down to the point where I don't think huge Atrocitus fans are going to enjoy this. I think if you read Atrocitus in Brightest Day, in the Preludes to Blackest Night, that type of thing, you're not going to see this as Atrocitus. He's kind of watered down. He's not as angry now that Krona's dead. Which brings up the point, which I'm not going to spend too much time on, because this is a Red Lantern thing, but if Hal still killed Krona, how the hell, think about this, 5 years, Hal became Green Lantern, Sinestro Corps War, Blackest Night, Brightest Day, killed Krona. He should own the Green Lantern Corps. He shouldn't be getting kicked out. You know, obviously he's, you know, if 50 years of continuity is condensed into 5 years, he's pretty much God of Green Lanterns. But we'll see. You know, that's something for Green Lantern. As far as Red Lantern, what I want to see is a return to the action roots of Atrocitus. You know, a return to Rage, some good action. We get a bit of an action scene, but it's kind of minor. You know, Dexter the Cat fights against some, well, they're obviously not nice people. I'm not sure exactly what I'd say they are, but get a little bit of a fight. Atrocitus shows up, saves the outnumbered cat. other than that, well, and you see a little bit more of Atrocitus's origin story, which we all know his origin, but we see it firsthand. I don't know if we're going to go any farther. Ideally, for some of these plots, I think the only way they work well is if all of these plot lines continue. You know, Atrocitus had his flashback about the beginnings of the massacre of Sector 666. If that continues as well as all the other plots, then it'll be worth it. Otherwise, it just feels like a lot of things that were probably meant to get readers emotionally invested that were put too soon into what it may not be being sold as an all-action series, but the only people who are interested in the series to start with, before it comes out, only people really interested are people who want to see blood, guts, and violence. That's what Red Lanterns are about. That's all many of them are. Blood, guts, violence. So, for a #1 issue to lack blood, guts, or violence, not a good start. So, I'm hoping with issue #2 it's going to improve, considering I'll be reading this for the next 11 or so issues. So, see where we go from here. Man in Black out. I'll see you next Friday.